Hey there, I'd like to share my review on this greenhouse. Took me about an hour to put it together. I'm so excited to use it for the spring. I'll show you a quick video on me putting it together, but for now I'll show you a few of the features that I'm excited about with this greenhouse. For starters, I'm about 5'4". Here's what it looks like with me standing up against the door frame. So as you can see, like, you're gonna have to duck to come in. But then once you're in here, like, I have quite a bit of room before I'm at the peak. So just so you have an idea of the height. As far as storage, so you have two shelves on this side. You have a shelf on the lower, a shelf on the upper, and then that's kind of open. Unless, of course, you want to move it down, like you do have that variation. You just would have to, change out these clips as to how you may want to do that. And then on this side, you have two shelves as well. So I just wanted to show you, here's some of your typical trays. They don't even take up the whole space. These are some 1-gallon buckets. So you have a lot of room below the shelf. Below the shelf there, you could line them on the back. These are even 3-gallon grow bags. So you could even use, 1, 2, 3-gallon grow bags on the shelves and on the ground as well, as you have a lot of room. You do have ventilation on each side, so just keep in mind when you're getting ready to plan for the spring, if you live in a cold climate like I do, my ground is frozen by the time I would start using this greenhouse. So make sure to have your stakes in the ground as to where you're gonna put your greenhouse so that when you're ready to put it up, and we get a lot of snow, so I'm not gonna leave mine up in the winter, but just make sure you have an idea of where you're gonna put it, put your stakes in the ground, mark them, so that come spring, you can just pop this back together or store it somewhere put together, and then you can bring it outside. But as far as the ventilation, just keep in mind, do you have east-west winds or north-south winds, as you wanna make sure to get good ventilation, because let me tell you, it is hot in there, and so you're gonna wanna make sure not to cook your plants. But otherwise, it went together really well. It is really nice, and I'm excited to use this in the spring for my plant starts. Here's a really quick process of how it was all put together. So these are all of your parts. You have your clips, the clips that are going to hold down your wire shelving, and then all of your different tubing. And so you start off in layers. And so layer 1, and then you put on your fittings, and then you're going to start putting on layer 2. Then you'll start prepping for layer 3. And then layer 4. And at the top of layer 5 is where you're actually going to attach the roof, but at this point they're encouraging that you put your shelving on. This honestly could wait until you're all done putting it together. And then I put it together on the ground, and then I propped it up and then started pushing it into the fittings. And the greenhouse part on top actually wasn't too bad to put on. This is where I said it might be better to leave your shelving off, as I knocked a few of my shelves off putting the top on. And then once you're inside, just tie it all down. These are the clips you're going to use to hold your shelving down. And so that worked out really handy. It's basically like 2 per shelf, and they don't go all the way to the ends. So the idea is that it's going to hold the majority of your trays.